So how does it get inside us? How do these micro and nanoplastics enter our bodies? They do so through three primary pathways. The first is through our food. We've mentioned fish full of plastic, which we eat. But it's not just fish. The most significant way plastic enters our bodies, from a quantitative standpoint, is through plastic bottles. Plastic bottles used for water or carbonated drinks are a dramatic and utter absurdity. Plastic itself is not inherently bad, of course. It is a material that can be used to create wonderful things. Think of medical prosthetics, or the sheathing that brings high-speed fiber optics into our homes. In short, many highly useful applications. And in those contexts, it's fine. But when we use it for something as foolish as water bottles, I am not a fan of mineral water producers, and the feeling is mutual. So, we use it for 10 minutes, for a soda or water, and then toss it into the environment. That is a foolish way to utilize an otherwise highly useful material. So, as we said, one of the pathways through which plastic enters the human body is through the digestive system. Another is through olfaction, the nose, and breathing, because there is a massive amount of plastic dispersed in our atmosphere. For example, every time you hit the brakes in a car, the friction releases thousands upon thousands of microplastic particles into the environment. So, if you live near a highway or a busy intersection with traffic lights, you are inhaling vast amounts of micro and nanoplastics. So we've covered the intestinal tract and the respiratory system. The third pathway is through the skin. Clothes. Specifically, the so-called fast fashion industry. Fast fashion is one of the most terrible blights on the world today. You may not realize this, but there are companies, mostly Chinese, but not exclusively, though the Chinese firms have the highest revenues. So those companies manufacture clothing imitating high-end designers, while entirely bypassing the traditional supply chain. They produce these synthetic garments that perfectly imitate natural fibers, but they only last one season, often even less. Then they are discarded. Aside from the fact that we wear them directly against our skin, meaning we absorb plastic into our systems through our skin, when we throw them away, they feed right back into that vicious cycle we mentioned earlier.